Hello, everyone. I'll wait till we gather the troops. Today we are discussing elevation of our minds with Letina Mata. So I'm waiting for Instagram to tell you that I'm on, and then we'll see. Oh, hello. Yes. So Latina is on. Hi, Radu. Let's see. Hi, Cindy. I know we're just talking. Hi, Latina.
Ah,
How are you?
I am good. Oh wait, let me fix my chair. I am good. How are you?
I am good, and I'm very excited because I am really excited to learn a lot of things that I know you have to share today, especially the journaling aspect and how to use the Just For You journal. That,
Awesome.
yes, but I'm very excited. I'm very into mindfulness
Right.
and trying to become the best me I could possibly become. So I'm always about self-improvement, and the books I read is always some sort of motivational and self-improvement books. So getting an
Awesome.
expert is very thrilling.
And you look very pretty, by the way. I love your makeup. Did you do it yourself?
I did. So I had a
Oh,
makeup session yesterday, and I washed my face, and I decided that I would try to recreate the look today.
oh
So
wow. So you did a really good job. Somebody needs to teach me how to put on makeup too, but another session.
that's it. Or you could catch the session last night on YouTube.
Okay, I will do that. I definitely will.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today
Hi.
we have Latina Mata. She's a mental health coach. She's going to be talking us through elevating ourselves and uplifting our minds so that we can become so we can become the best versions of ourselves. Latina, you want to give yourself a little introduction?
Sure. So, guys, as Janelle said, my name is Letina Mata. I am the CEO of True Roots Caribbean. I am the author of a personal development tool called the Just We Journal. And my superpower is helping women tap into their absolute awesomeness. My focus is on helping women change their belief systems so they can start showing up as the best version of themselves. So, that is me in a nutshell.
Good. And I actually know Latina way back, whether she remembers this or not. Latina's grandmother was a leader in my church, one of, the very nice, compassionate. I don't know if you know that.
No, I did not know that. Do you know
I
today
know
is
you
her
didn't know that.
birthday? Today is her
Today's her
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah, she's 77 today.
Oh, so Miss Crystal, happy
I
birthday.
will.
Oh, I say happy birthday. Yes, I used to go to church in Marabella, and you guys used to
What?
come as children,
Oh
and your
my
cousin Chris.
I
So
don't
long
believe.
before school.
Wow, the world is so small. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I will send her your birthday wishes.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ariel, Cindy, Dance Chick Jade, Indo Monique. I think I pronounced that wrong.
Yeah.
La Musique. Thank you, everyone, for joining. So we're going to dive right in because I have a million questions for Latina. She may not be able to go through the full scope, but there are things that I definitely want to know. So you have a company called True Growth Caribbean where you say your superpower is helping women develop and become themselves. Tell
Mhm.
us how you got, like, what made you go into starting this company?
Well, truthfully, I never had the intention of having a business. So that's the first thing. My intention was never to have a business. My belief system before was that I just need to go to school, get a good education, get a high paying job, and just be on my way. Like that's what it was. But as
Right.
time went by, I realized that that belief that I had was not it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't fulfilling at all. I believe that I did all the corporate jobs before, and corporate
Right.
I just never worked out. Like doing a 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, it was a huge struggle for me. But I continued pressing on because, of course, I was taught go to school, get a good job, do the 8 to 4 business, and
Right.
just be secure, have a secure job. But true growth in itself was birthed from me creating a system, which was the Just Few Journal, that was very, very beneficial and helpful for me. And at that point, which would have been the end of 2018, when I got myself a life coach. So I created this Just Few Journal, um, probably like earlier in the year, or probably the end of the previous year. I was doing this system in a regular notebook like this. I would
Right.
have just been doing my stuff, and I realized that it was completely transformative for me. And when I got a life coach at the end of that year, the desire to start something and to have something of my own started to come alive. I was like, maybe somebody else would benefit from what it is I have here. And I just decided I'm going to share this tool that I created with everyone else, with somebody must benefit from it. And in a nutshell, that is how this company was started. It started from me just having a tool that I use for myself that I said I'm going to share with other people, and it just grew in strides from one to the next, and here I am, literally.
So it's a
So
personally tested tool. Proven to
yes,
work.
100%.
Good.
100%.
So what is exactly your view on mindset, and how could one's perception of their mind, or lack of even considering their mind, influence how their life goes?
Well, I love that question. And one of the quotes that I love, and I always share this anytime somebody asks me this question, is that mindset determines the overall quality of our lives. It
Right.
100% determines how our life goes, how it feels, how we enjoy life, right? And there's this quote that I use all the time, which is, life does not happen to us, or it does not happen to you, it happens for you, right? So
Oh,
I
I love that. I use that too.
right, so I repeat all the time, life doesn't happen to me, it happens for me. And I'm also another testament to recognizing the importance of having a growth mindset, or having a positive mindset, because this point in time when my mindset was fixed in specific areas of my life, and where I had no understanding of the power of having a healthy mindset, it showed in my reality. It's a hundred
Right.
percent reflected in the quality of my life. It reflected in the quality of my feelings, in terms of how I would have dealt with things emotionally, how I would have managed through negative situations. So, like
Right.
150%, the quality of our mindset determines the quality of our life. So the happier, the better our mindset, the happier we are, the more success we have, the our finances start to improve. Things just get so much better when our mindset is in a different place. And I will
Right.
um, disclaim that everybody, so there's the fixed mindset and growth mindset, and we all have areas in our lives where we actually have perhaps growth mindsets applied to those particular areas, and then we may have a fixed mindset in terms of others, right?
Right.
Which means that it could work, it could change, things could improve, and we could always work on the areas of our lives that we're struggling it by just changing our mindset about it. Yeah, which is
It's
to
so
me
true.
amazing. Like, I love the fact that that is possible, which is also a quality of having a healthy mindset. So yeah.
I definitely agree with that. A lot of times, well, now in the field that I work with a lot of patients who struggle with infertility. And I always tell them that yes, we can help physically, but it always starts with the mind. And I believe that. So my example that I use for my patients in clinic is that I tell them that your mind is like fertile soil, and your thoughts are seeds. Whatever you plant, it will grow 100%. So you plant something negative, it will grow. Just like you plant something positive, it will grow. And that's my
Amazing.
analogy on how I feel. Because anytime I have a positive outlook on something, even a negative situation, if I have a positive outlook, it always evolves to become positive. And if something good I see negatively, it will evolve to be negative. So I fully agree with you on that one. I do believe that your mind has a lot more power and control than we actually believe and use. And tapping into our mindset definitely will help us in improving our lives. So that's why, I love what you do. At the moment I actually saw your Instagram and I clicked on it, I was like, wait, I know her. And then I started to listen to your message. I was like, okay, no, I definitely need to have a discussion with her. We need to do
Oh,
something because this is definitely down my alley.
thank you so much.
So,
But that is the absolute truth. I mean, our thoughts become things. I mean, people completely disregard the absolute innate power that we have by just having a mind, right? Like we
right,
have such innate power. And I mean, I would always go back to Albert Einstein and all these wonderful people. These were actual thoughts that they had that became like came to life, like every single
right,
thing that we have, everything that we use, it was a man who thought about it, of course, inspired by
yep,
God, inspired by source, but it was able to come to fruition. And it's always bring down to the layman term: when it rains, it pours. So when you start to just go on and on and on about something negative, you just get more of it, and
right,
similarly,
yes,
when you're in a positive place, you just get more positivity. So mindset 100%. I saw once again the transformation and the quality of my life, the quality of how I felt about myself, parenting. Things improved, finances, everything improved drastically when I
right,
started to do the inner work and literally develop the mindset shifts that I needed to become the type of person that I wanted to. And the person that I am now is the person that I wanted to be some time ago. So now I am
right.
very, very much excited to see who the hell I'm going to be in the next 6 months, and in the next six and the
That is
next
true.
year, right? So it is so important. Mindset work. I mean, it applies in everything. Businesses, relationships, parenting, being in a job, everything. We need mindset so that we could thrive. And of course, a healthy mindset so that we could thrive. Because
Right,
life is not always a bed of roses, and how we deal with it, how we deal with the things that come our way, is what makes it seem easier. If that makes
right.
sense, yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible as a coach to be able to mentor someone who is not yet of the mind that they can change?
That's a very interesting question, right? That is a very interesting question. And the truth is, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not sure if this is written somewhere, but in my opinion, unless somebody is ready to acknowledge that they are in a place, or they are ready to make that transition, is the only way it's going to work. Because we can't want something more for somebody else. That's a starting
True.
point. And that also, we have no control over anybody else. So I mean, if somebody comes to me and they're seeking some type of support, they're seeking some type of help in that regard, and we are providing the tools, and you are um but there's a lot of resistance, but not resistance because of limiting beliefs or circumstances, but straight up, I don't want to change. Well, I can't help you. I can't.
Right, that's true.
I can't.
And I
Mm-hmm.
guess they already made up their mindset to that as well, so they will get what they think.
Right.
They
So,
wouldn't be able to.
but I'm not saying if somebody comes and they say, "Hey, I really need support in this," but they are experiencing blockages, or they're experiencing, resistance. Like, fine, we could work through that. Of course, we could work through it. But you just have some people who straight up say, "I good just as I am. Don't
Right,
tell me nothing." No, well then I can't. We can't do anything because
right.
you are good just as you are. Yeah.
You're good. Stay good.
Right.
So, for me, I was explaining to you that I do I don't know what you call it. I don't have a word for it, but basically I write in a book every day futuristic goals. Some of it is in near future, some of it is like beyond, the future. And I kind of write the same thing. Whatever comes to mind, I don't rewatch the days before. Just whatever comes to mind, I write it down every day. Now, I had like a very disappointing event that happened to me in October. And from since then, I've been very wavering about doing that practice, which to me has helped. And I kind of glanced back at my book recently and I saw that I had accomplished a lot of things. Not all, but I would say
Right.
probably somewhere between a half to three quarters of the things on the list. So I was like, oh, I already accomplished some of these
Right.
already. So what is your perspective on, I don't know if what I described has a name. If it has a name, you can tell me the name. And then what is your perspective? Like for me, especially, and people out there who might be experiencing something similar, where you kind of find yourself falling into a rut where you don't want to be, but you're struggling to come out.
Right. Is this struggling to come out generally, or you mean in terms of your writing?
In terms of my writing, in terms of like getting back into the practice, and I really enjoyed the practice when I did it, but just since I stopped in October, it has been extremely difficult to get back the momentum into writing.
Right. Well, I think it all comes down to what you believe you're doing when you're writing, right? So when I write, I believe that I am creating a contract between myself and God. You know, I believe when I'm writing, I am self-healing. I believe when I'm writing, I am creating. So my reason for writing is all from those, it comes from those spaces. I believe that there is absolute power in writing, because a transformational coach whom I met some time ago, when I first launched my book, she told me, she said, Letina, journaling is like is a contract between yourself and God. Every time you form a letter, you are actually designing a part of your life, right? And
Right.
when I heard that, it touched, it hit my core on so many levels. And I didn't realize what I had really been doing all along, beside just expressing my thoughts, doing a lot, because therapy in itself is, sorry, not therapy, journaling itself is like self-therapy. It is a place for
Right.
you to write uncensored. And this is, of course, is what you would have been describing would have been free writing. Is it that you would have just written, or you had a specific thing that you used to write all the time?
I used to more or less project what I want
Mm-hmm.
for the future and I'd write. So like, I want to have this kind of business or, you know, just futuristic goals.
Right, which is awesome, because as I said, one of the factors in terms of journaling is creation, right? It is a space
Right.
for you to create. And the thing is, and this is probably the most beautiful thing I'd say, there is no right and wrong way to journal. So
Right.
if you've been writing like that and you've been seeing results from it, that is absolutely amazing. If it is you want more out of your writing, then my suggestion would be to always start with gratitude. Because the thing about journaling or writing is like the most the most secure, safest space that you have, where you could just let everything out. And I mean, I journaled like that for a very long time, for years and years. When I was in school, I journaled and I had no clue that's what I was doing. I just used to do their diary, their God, their diary, their God. And I didn't
Right.
journal when I started university, up until probably 2 years before, 2 years after I had my daughter. I don't think I journaled either. It was very weird and in between, and I'd probably just write and be about my business. But when I recognized the self-healing element that came from just free writing, is when things transitioned. Because
Right.
where else are you, or who else are you going to, beside a therapist, of course? And even in therapy, it's still not as flowy. Where else do you
Right.
have a safe place for you to just share in the most uncensored way what you feel, what happened, what didn't happen, what broke my heart into a million pieces, what literally lit me up today? There is no other space for you to do that and
Mm-hmm.
get the immediate impact and immediate release than writing. Like it is absolutely profound for us to take time to do that. And I know you said, well, something happened that made you stop writing. Is that what you're saying? So
Yeah.
something happened. Is it that something that you wrote made you stop writing?
No, no, no. So an event happened in my life, a disappointing event.
Right.
Something that it was like the main focus of what I was writing. It didn't come to pass, and it
Right.
had a deadline.
Right.
So when it
Right.
didn't happen, it was just like, oh well,
What was the
you know,
purpose?
what
So
was the
I
purpose?
so it would, that will also come to, that is also a belief that's something now we could work through, right? Because at the end of the day, God answers in, I have something better for you, or not yet, or yes,
True.
right? Those are the three answers that he gives. I have something better, not yet, or straight out yes. There you go. It's never, it's never no. It's never no in this condescending type of way. It is
Right.
better. Better,
Right.
yes, or not yet. So, I mean, looking at whatever it is that situation was, and then saying, okay, I put in all this effort, I put in all this energy into here. It it probably was just a matter of what was the reasoning behind writing, which of course I'm pretty sure, as you mentioned, there was like there were hundreds of other benefits of all the other things that you were writing. So this one thing to discourage, it is like having 100 slates. 99 was good, one was bad, and you choose to throw away the 99 because one was bad. You know,
That's yes.
right? Right. So beside that, journaling in itself is the most efficient way to start self-healing. It is the most efficient way to start creating. It is the most efficient way for you to start, just doing the inner work to take you from where you are to where you want to be. Because in there, in a journal, you see who you were.
Right. Latina. Okay, sorry guys, we're gonna try to get Latina back. There was a little bit of a connection issue. I will try to get her back. But I do believe that journaling could help. I just really need to get back into it. Let's see if we can get back Latina because I really need to know how to journal fully.
Oh, but
Yes, hello? You're sticking. Hello? Hello? So while we wait for Latina connection, I just want to introduce you guys to what we're talking about. We're talking about mental, developing your mind and elevating your mindset to become the best you possible. We're waiting for the connection to improve. You're very slow. You're breaking up. Flo, I don't know what you're doing in Trinidad. So we were talking a bit about journaling. As soon as she comes back, we will continue the discussion on journaling and how to journal. I'm seeing you, but it's very broken up. Hmm? Hi. Okay. Okay. So yes, guys. So yes, guys, we are talking to Letina Mata. She is the CEO and owner of True Growth Caribbean. It is um, business, sorry, to elevate your mind and help you to become the best version of yourself as possible. We were talking initially how her company got started, and the company started through a process that she did for herself and saw that it was working and so effective on herself that she decided that someone else and other people could benefit from this, and hence this blossomed into um, a business. She is the author of a journal called just for you journal, and it is a self-help tool to help you improve your mindset, elevate your mind, and redefine your system beliefs so that you can become the best version of yourself. We were talking a little bit about mindfulness and being able to control our thoughts, and that the fact that positivity helps you to see more positive, as well as negativity will help you to see more negative. So it's all about what you choose, and you do have the choice to be able to elevate your mind and become the better version of yourself. And the analogy I use, which is what I use on my patients all the time, is your mind is like fertile soil, extremely fertile soil. It will grow anything you want it to grow. You have thoughts, and your thoughts are the seeds. So in your mind, this very fertile soil, whatever seed you plant will grow. So people who tend to see everything through a negative lens because they plant negative thoughts, they will grow those negative thoughts beautifully, and hence everything about them will be negative. Just like for people who see more positive, they plant those positive thoughts and everything will be positive. So it shows why, hi Kizzy, you should be more positive in life. Much better.
Oh my God.
So I was just kind of running through for all those who just joined us what we talked about so far, and then we were moving on to journaling.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone who's here. I'm so sorry. I apologize on behalf of Flo. I have like no clue what's going on with us here. So yeah, I was saying about journaling. So of course you ask the next question, well, how to? And the beautiful thing is that there really is no right or wrong way. I do have some suggestions though. When you're like, firstly, what is your intention when you journal? Like, you must have an intention. I always set an intention before I journal. So I am suggesting that before you start to write, you set an intention. You say, okay, what is my reason for writing today? Because it makes no sense just doing things just cause. So if
Okay.
you're journaling because you want to de-stress, you want to unwind, you want to do a brain dump. So if your journal is as soon as you wake up in the morning and you have like, you're one of those people who have like a lot of thoughts just coming and coming and coming, journaling is a great way, and you do a brain dump. If it is part of your morning routine, as in you're like, okay, I'm setting the tone for my day, And that is when I journal. My intention for journaling is to set the tone for my day. What type of day I'm trying to have? What is my
Mm.
intention? Am I going to have a productive day? Is today a day for me to, do some self-care? And is today a day for me to um feel a particular type of way? So I set intention. So I'm suggesting 1,000% that you set an intention before you journal. So you don't journal just because somebody say you should write in a book. You know,
Right.
everything that you do, because the way that our thoughts become a reality is because we give off a particular frequency, we give off a
Right.
particular energy. So it is definitely 100% related to feelings and emotion. So when it is you write, what is the intention, what is the feeling, what is the emotion you get when you write? Anytime we have to journal and it feels like it is painful and it is a hard task, then we have a problem, because journaling is not supposed to feel burdensome. Journaling is supposed to
Right.
be that safe space for you. So if you are journaling and it feels like a task, it perhaps guided journaling might help, because guided
Yes.
journaling is different from free writing, and some people aren't aware of where to start. So guided journaling just has starting points for you, so it gives you a place to start, versus you just have a blank piece of paper.
Okay.
And then guided journaling has a goal in mind. What is the goal? What is the goal for this particular entry, or what is the goal for this particular type of exercise that you engage in? But either way, it is supposed to be that safe place for you. It's supposed to be that foundation for you to create and to self heal. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about journaling, because of the
Right.
self healing element. It brings out so many emotions when we journal. There is um there's just so much power in there, realizing what's been suppressed, or what's been ignored,
Okay.
or what's been just thrown to the side. I mean, you're a doctor, Janelle, so I could assume that you are just busy all day and you're just going, and the downtime is like, where is the time for you to just pull you together, pull your
Right.
inside together? So there's no right and wrong way to journal. The only time I would call it wrong is if it's a burden, if it
Right.
feels like a burden. But everybody has a different system. So if you've been journaling and it's starting to feel as though you're getting stuck, you probably could try guided journaling, which would
Right.
provoke thoughts, which would ask some difficult questions that you might have to get into. But generally, just set an intention. Why am I doing this? What is my intention for journaling today? What kind of day am I going to have? It totally puts us in this emotional state that raises our vibration, because the truth is, when we begin journaling, it might start negative. It may
Right.
start all the negative emotions, and then as it continues, it actually, for most experiences, it actually just increases to a higher vibration. It increases to better things. There is a release. So don't journal. I'm not saying like everybody needs to journal, but
Right.
if you are journaling, let it be with intention, and let it be from a good place. Self healing
Right.
is what this whole thing is. So I don't know if that answers your question for how to journal, but there are different elements that you could put in it. Oh, thanks, Dominique. There are different elements that you could put into journaling to make it more effective. So you could ask me another question if I didn't clarify your how.
Yeah, so I want to actually know, so like what are the different elements you have in your journal that
Okay.
you were practicing on free paper before you actually created
Right.
this tool that,
Did the
helped?
transformation, yeah, for sure. So for those of you who offer free writing, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to move to something else, definitely gratitude is the place to start at, because gratitude puts us on this emotional vibration. It puts us on this flow of abundance. It changes our emotional state. So if you start journaling and you're in a crappy place, or you're not feeling well, by just acknowledging some things that you are grateful for, it's immediately going to boost your mood. So that's the first
Right.
element to include, as I mentioned. And then the second element, as you said you do, is affirmations, which is affirmations are so dear to my heart because it completely relates to your belief system and completely relates to what type of life you are creating. So
Right.
affirmations will be the second part, which you've already have down packed. And then the other part would have been to take stock of your goals, to ensure that your goals are top of mind. Because if your goals are top of mind, then you'll be aware of what action steps you have to take. So after I would have
Right.
done affirmations, I would have written out what my goals are. And after I would have written out what my goals are, and they were SMART goals, of course, specific, measurable, attainable, real, and time bound. So those are the type of goals that I would have written, right? Then
Right.
I would have said, okay, my goals guide my actions. That's actually a quote in my book as well. My goals guide my actions. So my things to do aren't frivolous things to do. Yes, of course they would. Yes, of course you have those things that must be done. But I always ensure that the things in my things to do align with the goals that I want. So
Right.
if I'm saying my goal is to lose weight, or yeah, let's say let's lose weight or 10 pounds or become more healthy and fit, then one of my things to do must be drink 3 liters of water. I will
Right.
write that down there because it aligns with my goals. So
True. Yeah.
my goals and my things to do are never all over the place. They always align with each other. And then of course I implemented a scheduling aspect just for productivity. So I would recommend block scheduling because that's what I do. I'm not a rigid type person, so block scheduling works. I'm not sure if you're familiar with block scheduling.
No.
But right, well, block scheduling basically means instead of we going hour to hour, firstly, when you're doing block scheduling, the minimum time is 2 hours. So within that
Okay.
block that you create, you put you put in different things. So like you might have a morning block, then you might have a mid-morning block, then you have an evening block, and you'll have a afternoon block, well, afternoon then evening, then you have a night block. But in it, you have different activities that would only be done in that time. So it's not a rigid 9 to 1, 9 to 10, 10 to 1 type of activity. So an example of mine in my morning block would have morning meditation, prepare breakfast, get my daughter ready for the day, and probably do a speed clean, which means that if within that time my morning meditation goes a little extra, I am not pressured with this, oh my God, I need to start this at 8:15 and it is now. So it relieves the stress from me. And it works well if you have a um more flexible lifestyle. Yeah, more flexible lifestyle rather than, schedule like every minute, 20 minutes. So that is block
Right.
scheduling. And of course, if you're not and you prefer things hour on the hour, well, that works fine, right? And then what I implemented as well is something called a Likert scale. And because, of course, what is measured is improved. And it is where
Right.
I check my productivity and my positivity. What kind of day did I have today? And usually, when it is you reflect on your journal entry, you will realize, I really dealt with this situation in this type of way, or I really didn't feel so good about the way I reacted, or I didn't have a good experience today. And you would see that there is a correlation between your activities that you did, how much you got done in terms of your productivity, and what beliefs you allowed to just manage your entire day. And it would totally show up in its productivity and your positivity. And it's
Right.
usually like, if you have a productive day, you're like, oh yeah, today was good, and you feel good. If you didn't have a productive day, you're like, today was kind of blah, And
Right.
the most important, well, another most important part, which was a real game changer as well, is night reflections. So a lot of us, we have morning routines. So
Right.
we have wins in the morning, but we don't close the day with wins either. And a win in the night would be to acknowledge one good thing that happened in the day, sorry. So you acknowledge what happened today that I'm super grateful for. And you journal about that. It could just be a one liner. And you just say, hey, You know, I had a live with Janelle today, and I'm really grateful for that. And I end my night, with a something that I'm grateful for. And of course, I can highlight if something happened that I didn't feel too okay about, or something that happened that I was really good about. And most
Right.
importantly, what will I do better tomorrow? Because I'm going to go to sleep with that on my mind, which means when I wake up tomorrow, I have my goals on top of mine and I know what it is, what my intention for the day is. So to recap, then for journaling, if you want a how to, you can start
Mm-hmm.
with gratitude. What am I
Right.
grateful for? Then you have to affirm those beliefs, like I am the most successful doctor in all of
The
Manhattan,
word.
right? Well, in the world, right? I am an awesome mommy. I am whatever it is, right? You affirm the things that you want for your life. You speak life into your life by writing the things that you need to change or that you want to become. Then, of course, we put our goals top of mind. It's the only way for us to be aware of what we're doing and ensure that all our actions during the day have intention. So we put those
Right.
goals, then our things to do, ensure that your things to do align with your goals. You don't just be
Right.
doing things all vike. And then, of course, your schedule for productivity. The Likert scale was just something that I put in there to check how my cycle's been going in terms of me doing this type of work. And then the night reflection, because I want to end my day with a win, regardless
Right.
of how the day goes. And that I think would definitely answer the how to if somebody needs step 1, 2, 3, for sure.
And that was a beautiful answer, how to, and this is exactly, I would assume, how your Just For You journal is laid out. So tell
Yeah.
us, where can we get the Just For You journal?
Well, luckily it is available on Amazon, so you guys could just type in Just Few Journal. So it is on Amazon. In
Okay, let's start
Trinidad,
easy.
yeah, yes. In Trinidad, it is available in Maria's Bakery and Scribbles and Quills. Well, of course, they are closed. And I do have the option for you guys to pre-order with me because my actual journals in stock finished last week. So if y'all need in Trinidad, y'all could just put in an order with me and I would have that to you because I learned yesterday that the courier service was open. I don't know where I was living all the time that I thought it was closed, but
No, I think that's the only thing that did not close in Trinidad.
right. Well, I did not know
Yeah.
that. So yeah, you guys could always just send me a DM if you want to get your hands on that book. But that is journaling in a nutshell. Something very
So
dear to me.
you kind of touched on it a little bit by mentioning that, whatever intention you set is kind of like an agreement you're making with God, right? But I still want you to expand on ways because one of my greatest problems that I struggle with is procrastination.
Right.
I the thing is I will always get things done when it's due, but I
Right.
will get it done when it's due.
Right.
So it's a problem because it's always to the minute, and I've been working on that, trying to improve myself. I've gotten way better as time went on, but there's still lots of room for improvement. So
Right. Well, that's
what
just
would be
on
your
a real
suggestion?
side note. You're a doctor, Janelle, which means that you put in real years and you clearly got that done packed in a huge way, right? So just hug yourself for that, now, right? Because that is a different level of consistency and commitment there. But yeah, all aside, I believe that consistency is related to self trust. So many times we break our self trust that so we have our higher self and now we have our ego self, right? So usually
Mhm.
we're like, so Janelle is like, all right, so tomorrow I'm going to start going to the gym. That is your higher self who that's what you want, that's what you desire. You know that if it is I get to this place, I'm going to feel better, I'm going to be better, this is the best version of myself. But because Janelle did not pick up or adhere to the other things that she was supposed to do before, her ego is like, girl, you know you're not doing that. You know you're not making it to the gym tomorrow. right? You know you're not making it
Sounds
to the
about
gym
right.
tomorrow. So when that happens, so guess what? Your ego is waiting for you to go to the gym. The two of you are waiting for you to go to the gym, and when tomorrow comes and time goes by, your ego is like, I know he wasn't going anyways.
Right.
So your higher self is like, you know, pause. There's this pause and there's this big disconnect because you did not fulfill what it is you were supposed to. So you broke your own self trust. That is where inconsistency in my belief system comes from. The fact that we break ourselves, we break promises to ourselves so many times that we can't even trust ourselves to get something done. So consistency would become a problem because it's just we just don't expect for it to be done. We just do not expect for it to be
Right.
done. And I'm saying somebody saying for me it's more fear of failure. Is that considered ego? Yeah, 100%. That is ego. That is definitely ego. So
I feel you.
consistent, right? So consistency would stem. Why is my daughter banging on the door? Inconsistency would stem from breaking self trust, and then there's another one, and this one hit so hard, and it was some of us have a greater benefit staying and doing the nonsense, or I don't want to say nonsense, it might sound so strong, but staying doing the things that we continue to do rather than achieving the things that we want to. The benefits seem greater by just doing what we're currently doing. So, for
Right.
example, going to the gym. I want to go to the gym. I want to,
Mm-hmm.
etc. But the benefits of me not going to the gym right now means this is what I'm telling myself.
Anything you want. Yes. Right. Yeah, you're Latina, your internet again, it's slowing down. I don't know if you have a fix for it. Hello? So as we wait for Latina to get back a connection, and as you can see, unfortunately, Flow, which is the internet company in Trinidad and Tobago, it has been acting up. I think there's a lot of people on it. So we're just having a little difficulty with the connection. But if you're joining us now, it's very inspiring, very deep what we're talking about. It's mindset elevation and becoming a better version of ourselves. So the last thing we were touching on is how to improve on being more consistent and not procrastinating. And it's more or less if you made that contract to do something, you made that promise that you were going to do something, getting it done so that your ego doesn't believe that it wouldn't be done. So, Natina, you're back?
I hope so. Am I back?
Okay. Yes.
But
You're still not clear, but you're clearer than before.
oh my goodness. Raise my blood pressure all week. All week, Flo has been raising my blood pressure.
But we can hear you clearly. So
Okay. Yeah,
something.
so I think the last thing that I was saying was about rebuilding self-trust by keeping small promises to yourself. So if you're saying that one of the things that you struggle with was consistency, and it's because you would wait until the last minute to get it done, like just start with really small, something small that is going to add value to your life. So we're not talking the big projects yet. We're talking these little things, because it means that there are little things that you're probably neglecting that should be done as well. But so start there. Start with something small. If it's, I always use the example of probably washing your wares or moving a shoe or putting something back, or just very small, something small that is going to add up, because little shifts create a massive shift over time, right?
That's true.
I'm not sure if you're hearing me still. Are you? Because now you're
I'm
blurred
hearing
out.
you. I'm
Okay.
hearing you. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that is that. And then of course your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Does your why connect? Is your why deep? If we're just doing things just because, or because we have to, it would always be painful. Being consistent about something that you're not completely connected to your core is
Right.
always going to be a stress. It's always going to be painful, and I believe in doing things that are aligned with who we are. So, and I think that's why not working a 9 to 5 worked out better for me, because a lot of things I was doing there wasn't aligning with who I am. you know
Right.
Having your own business, I mean, you're a doctor, of course, and I'm not sure how your practice works, but it is definitely 100% finding a why that connects, really, really connects at your core. And then journal through, what is my current situation and what are the benefits of my current situation. So if it's not clean, and if you're not you have a whole pile of clothing, and that is something that you can't be consistently putting away, what are the benefits of me having that here? Of course it must be serving me. I must have a benefit. I probably have this belief, why should I put it back if I'm going to wear it? you know right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, it is a accumulation. It is different things to look at, but start with just rebuilding your self-trust. Rebuilding your self-trust and finding something as a core level that connects with your why. Why am I doing this? Why? And there are surface whys, and then there are the deep ones that will motivate, well, not even motivate us, would allow us to have discipline when there's no willpower and when there's no motivation. Must have a deep why for that to be sustainable, you
Right.
know? So yeah, like it is not none of nothing that I spoke about today, mindset, journaling, or consistency has a magic trick. None of it is a one-off thing. The shit literally takes, sorry guys, I use bad words. The thing takes it takes work in progress. It takes committing to daily, because you're so caught up with who your future self is, who you want to become, that you are willing to put in the inner work.
That's
Like all
true.
that we spoke about, I call in a nutshell inner work. None of it happens overnight. None of it happens over one life. None of it happens just like that. It is a commitment, and it starts from what stories you have in your head about different things in your life, and it starts with, who do I want to become? Ask those two questions. What do I believe about these different elements, these different areas in my life? And then
Right.
focus on, who do I want to become? And all these things that we just spoke about is just like in the middle. It's like a sandwich. Like imagine a sandwich.
Right.
And I mean, it works, but it is something that you have to be committed to.
You have to work, we'll be willing to work with it for it to work.
Yes. What is that?
No, I said you have to be willing to work with it for it to work.
Yes, for sure. It is. It is.
No magic trick. And I think that's sometimes what happens to us, at least sometimes to me. Sometimes people see something that I may have achieved or gotten, and they're like, oh, you're so lucky, you got XYZ. And it's like, do you know how many sleepless nights this cost?
Yeah.
it,
Yes.
it, it didn't come with snap on my finger. And I mean, sometimes when I'm watching people and feeling that way, I have to remember they probably didn't wake up and had this. They were planning, they were preparing, and they were putting in the work, and hence they were able to reap the fruit and enjoy the benefits. But it probably did not happen overnight for most people.
1,000%. Like, I mean, anything about this, I feel like going through this type of work, when you see the fruition, when you see who I once was and who I am now, which means there is so much beautiful freaking potential for who I'm going to be, it is one of the most rewarding and beautiful experiences. So yeah, work is not easy, but it doesn't have to be hard either.
Right,
It is totally about just allowing yourself to lean into these emotions, experience what you're experiencing, because I'm not saying toxic positivity and just pack things on top of negative emotions and feelings. Like, our emotions serve us, so we
right,
have to feel it. We should experience it. We need to go through it because it teaches us, but at the same time, it's not for us to get stuck there.
right.
And when you grow from strength to strength through your experiences and recognize that life does not happen to me, it happens for me, the reward is unbelievable. Like I just, I guess all I have to say, and it always just makes me, like, I feel so emotional every time I see it, because I know the power. I know the power in doing that inner work every time.
So for the people, there are a lot of us right now going through different things because of coronavirus, right? Businesses are less productive, especially people who are self-employed. So business may be down, people may be fired, furloughed, working way less, making little or no money at all.
Right.
And it's difficult to find that energy and that power to like be productive. Do you subscribe to it's okay to not be productive during this time because it's hard, or do you have a sort of other sort of mantra that, it may be okay for this moment right now, but let's see how we could get out? Which one is more? Well, I think the latter might be more with you, but
Definitely the second one. I believe in honoring your body. I believe in honoring your feelings and where you're at. And I believe 100% in being gentle on yourself. But there is a thin line between doing all of that and straight out just being lazy or just
right,
saying, well, I'm not doing nothing, And I do not subscribe to the I do nothing, because I also don't believe in being stuck in, feeling a negative type of emotion, because if you're going through something more than 3 weeks consistently, then it means that you need some type of mental and emotional support,
right,
you know. So I believe honor your body, take that time if you need, feel the emotions, etc. But 100%, you're not just going to sit and do nothing.
right.
Because I also heard somebody say, was it Roosevelt? I don't know. I can't remember who said it, but they say don't ever waste a good pandemic. Don't ever waste a good pandemic. So, and I agree with that. So, those are my thoughts. And I do have a suggestion for anybody who's probably struggling. There was something that I came up with, which was,
You're stuck again. Could you repeat that sentence? Flow is speaking at like the most crucial of times. Sorry, we didn't hear it. You were stuck. Huh? So you said there's something you came up with, and that's all that I heard up to. No, Flo. No, we still not hearing you.
are you hearing me now?
Yes, now good.
Hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go quick. That is creating for non-negotiable, right? So if you have, like, it's just so much things going on, you're not in that good place. Decide what your goals are, decide who you want to become, decide, okay, what are 4 non-negotiables that I could do every single day regardless of how I feel. So whatever those 4 non-negotiables are, and it could be for each area of your life that you want to be, you have goals, or it could just be 4 across the board. You just get those 4 things done, and that is your way of not just doing nothing, but you're also being gentle on yourself. Did you guys hear that? Or the internet?
Yes, we did. Instagram is counting us down. I didn't even realize it's 6 seconds. So thank you so much, Tina.